Hey everyone, back again for another chat on my journey. Um, Thinking a lot lately about how many people often ask myself, my wife, we don't know how you do it, or how do you get through every day? How do you make, how do you stay so chipper when you've got kids in hospital and there's all sorts going on around you? And I guess there's more than one facet to it, but it boils down to, I suppose, simply just making a choice. I mean, I often see one of our boys. He has a shunt revision, which basically means they open up his head and move stuff, pipes and ventricles, and the pipes up and down at the back of his head, and all sorts of nonsense. And once all the meds and that have worn off and the pain's off, he's back to himself with no and he just cracks on with life. And so I guess for the rest of us, we got to look at it. What is the choice we make when things don't go away, or do we make the choice prior to things not going away and say, if things don't go away, how are we going to react to it? I personally believe still that every morning showing gratitude and every evening showing a little bit of gratitude really does help set a platform to be looking for the good out of each day, as opposed to be looking for the problems. You'll complain a lot less. You'll sort of and it's easier to find things to be thankful for on a day-to-day basis if you're looking for it every day, which is cool. But inevitably you have to make a choice to practice gratitude in the morning, and practice gratitude before you go to bed, whether it's writing it down or just closing your eyes and just saying thank you, or whatever the case may be, or recording it, and however you want to put it, I suppose, is the best way. You've got to find what works for you. But it's a choice to practice that gratitude, and out of the gratitude, start looking for the good in every day. So you might be in hospital, but you can be grateful for all of the medical teams that all of a sudden are there to help, or a child struggling at school will all of a sudden get a teacher that just it seems like magic, but this teacher and this child just click, and all of a sudden everything really works, or a sports coach, or a friend, or a partner, whatever the case may be, and all of a sudden things start changing for you and start going. But the long and the short of it, so starting with gratitude in the morning, making the choice to be grateful for things that you have in your life, small things. You can, if you have nothing to be grateful for, wake up in the morning and go, I'm grateful that I woke up this morning, because some people didn't. So that's one thing to be grateful for. If it's a nice day, the good weather, if you are able to exercise, which is another amazing tool to stay positive, because it gets those happy hormones going. And exercising doesn't necessarily mean you have to go and be an Olympic sports person. And if it's just a jog around the block, or if it's a walk around the block, or if it's whatever the case may be, maybe boxing, or tai chi, or yoga, or whatever the case may be, but whatever exercise works for you, and just get those endorphins and those happy hormones going, will help a lot. So having said that, so you're making choices on how to create happiness in your life. You're going to be grateful, you're going to do some exercise. The other choice is, when something comes my way, how do I react to it? And I suppose the reaction is probably the most important thing, because most people will freak out when something bad happens, and oh wow, it was me, and then it sort of compounds and compounds and compounds, and things sort of get worse and worse and worse. But if you look at it and the problem arises, and you go, okay, cool, my child's going to hospital, what can I do about it? I can get them to the hospital quicker. I can keep them comfortable, and I can support them, and I can help the doctors and nurses as best as possible to get to the bottom of it as quickly as possible, to make sure that my child comes out of hospital. And the same goes for whatever the case may be. But you could be at work, and you've decided that you're going to have a bad day because you got stuck in traffic. Oh, is this how my day is going to be? I'm sort of stuck in traffic now. And, I can't believe I'm going to be late, and then you sort of the whole day you're going through this. Oh, I'm late, and I didn't get this right, and then you drop coffee on your shirt, and whatever the case may be. And often found that if you're stuck in traffic, you're stuck in traffic. What can you actually do about it? Nothing. So use the time to think, okay, maybe I can mentally prepare for something when I get to work, and in which case I can be in a better position to get there, instead of rushing through the doors and throwing your stuff down and getting your computer open and all that kind of stuff. and sort of mentally prepare yourself, or maybe listen to a podcast, or listen to the radio, enjoy some music, whatever the case, whatever it is to ease the mood. But if you cannot do physically anything about it, there's no point in getting upset about it. And I think that's sort of how I've looked at it especially through the last few years with my family. And we've had big changes in our lives, a lot of positive changes. We've had a lot of pretty crappy things happen to us along the way, but there wasn't really much we could do at the time about what was happening except be proactive on what we do afterwards. So you find out your kids have cerebral palsy. It was earth-shattering for me, but it was momentarily earth-shattering. And then I looked up and I thought to myself, I need to be strong. And then the next question was, what can I do to make it better? Not why did this happen to me, but what can I do to make this better? What can I do as a dad? I can support my children. I can go around and do whatever I need to do. So coming back to the whole point is, how do we do it? The choice was made. How do I react to good news and bad news? What are the decisions I'm making, and what am I doing to create a more positive outlook for my life? So if you have a positive mindset where you're looking for things to be grateful for versus looking for the bad in life, you will tend to find that you're not necessarily always happy, but you're not down as often. Positive people aren't always happy. They have bad days. They have bad moods. They do get down in the dumps, but you tend to get out a lot quicker if you're practicing that positive mindset every day. So in the morning you're going, what can I be grateful for? I didn't really have a good day yesterday, and this morning the weather's crap, but I woke up this morning, my wife's next to me, my kids are all healthy. It's a good place to start. And then as the day goes through, you'll start looking for things to be grateful for, because at the end of the day you want to say, well, what was I grateful for today? What worked for me? What didn't work for me? And all that kind of stuff. So I think it boils down to, if you really want to know how I get through it, and I don't want to talk on my wife's part, but it was a decision that we made. It's one day at a time. We're going to be grateful for what we have. We're going to deal with it as it comes along, and we're going to make the best of every situation, whether it's good or bad, because there will always be something that comes out of every situation that you can be thankful for. Because as they say, the setback is not as big as the comeback. So whatever it is happening probably for a reason, and whatever that reason is, we'll figure it out when the time comes. But in the meantime, it is, how do I stay as positive as I am? How do I get through when the world around me seems to be crumbling, and there's kids in hospital and seizures, and my wife's not, this is going on, and we got COVID and X, Y, and Z, and it just feels like it's just getting compounded. Why do I stay so chipper? Why do I stay so positive? First, I made a decision to be that way. Secondly, practicing gratitude. And thirdly, exercise. People underestimate the value of just plain good old exercise. And like I said, it's not about going out and running 100 kilometers. Maybe 2 kilometers is your distance, and 2 kilometers is enough for you. Some people will be 10, some people will be 20, some people will ride bikes, some people will swim, some people will row, some people will box, some people will do whatever it is for me. For me, it's 3 or 4 times a week, go out for a 5K run, and go out and coach wheelchair rugby and rugby. And that's how I keep myself busy and going. And those are my forms of exercise that I really enjoy, and touch rugby and stuff like that. So my top 3 tips: make the choice to deal with it as it comes. If you can't control it, don't try to control it. Make a decision after the fact, is what can I do to make it better? Be grateful for the things you have in life, because that positivity will flow over to everything else. And get yourself out there and do whatever exercise it is you need to do. I hope this helps you. Guys, these are the 3 things that really get me through a lot of tough times. So I hope some of it can help you. I'm happy to chat to anyone. You drop me a DM and we can chat about it. But until then, have a super fantastic day, and I hope to catch up with you soon. Cheers. Bye.